Okay, well, hey everybody, I'm on Facebook Live and on Zoom at the same time. So I'm seeing two of me. Anyway, today is December the 28th, and I wanted to come to you today and talk to you about something that came to me last night. And I pray for the Lord to show me what to do. And then sometimes I get ideas from other directors. I'm like, and it feels like a good fit. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. But then sometimes I get my own little vision of what I need to do for my unit in my area. And I think, okay, that's what I need to do. Because, you kind of do things you can get excited about. So last night, before I went to bed, it was pretty late. I mean, like I was already in the bed, and I came up with something. I thought, I got to write that down. So I did. And so I was thinking about 2020 and what we need to do. And if you're like me, I'm kind of ready to get the ball back rolling. Like, I like taking off. I like sitting around doing nothing. But honestly, after a few days of it, I'm ready to go. So I was thinking last night, what could we do to get this ball rolling in 2020? And I know everybody's not at the same place. There's some people that want to do a little bit, and there's some that say, hey, I can do a little bit more than a little bit. And there's some that's like, I'm ready to run. And the thing about it is, each one of you are important in my unit, each and every one of you, and in your own director's unit, because it takes the whole entire unit. It doesn't take just one or two people to make a great unit and a great circle of excellence. And like for our area to form a national area, it takes everybody. And so I thought, I'm going to come up with a place for everybody to win that you can run at your own pace and run your own race. And y'all know right now, everybody's thinking about new goals and New Year's resolutions. And a lot of times it's about your weight. Men don't do that. Men like, I look good, but women, we always think we could be slimmer unless you're really slim, and then maybe you want to put on some weight. But most of us, it's the other way. And it's so funny. I go back and I'm looking at pictures from 10 years ago, and I'm like, I wish I was as fat as I thought I was then now. Because like even when you're thin, you think you're fat. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all deal with that. I think most women do their whole entire life. Some don't. And if you don't, I'm proud of you. So anyway, it's a good topic to get yourself in shape. So I thought, how can we get our business in shape for the new year? What can we do to have some different results in 2020? And I just listened to a sermon on, I love the church Transformation Nation. I just love it. And the pastor on there is Michael Todd, and he just, different people move different people. And I've shared some of his sermons with you guys, and they just did this 18-week series of crazy faith. And if you have not had a chance to watch it, I've watched all 18 sermons, and some I went back and watched twice. And so today I thought, let me get on there and see what he said Sunday. Well, I'd already listened to it because I'm kind of mixed up with my days. And so today, the one that came up said next Christmas. And I thought it was like a current one, but it was 3 years ago. And he was talking about, where will you be this time next Christmas? What will your life look like? And are you prepared for what God can do for you in your life? And he talked about the thing in the story in the Bible that talked about the lady that had lost her husband, and she had to pay her bills, and they were coming to take her children, because if you couldn't pay your bills, they would take your children and they would make them slaves. And so she went to Elisha and said, is it Elisha or Elijah? Anyway, I think it's Elisha, and said, I need some help. Your servant, my husband, is dead, and they're fixing to come take my kids. And he said, what can I do for you? And then he said, well, let me ask you something. What do you have already? And she says, I don't have anything. Well, she says, I do have one bottle of olive oil. That's it. That's all she had in her house. So he told her, he said, okay, I want you to go around and ask everybody to give you empty jars and get as many as you can. And he said, then I need you to go home and you take your olive oil and start filling up those jars. And she thought, all right. So she had her kids go to all the neighbors, friends, give me some jars that the Bible didn't tell me she got. But she went home, she started filling them up. She filled up until there were no more jars. And then the oil stopped. As soon as there were no more jars, then that was the end of the blessing. Okay? So Then he told her, he said, go sell those olive oil, all the jars that you have, pay your bills, and use the rest to live on. And so the moral of the story from the sermon that I heard this morning was be prepared for what God can do for you in the future. And you have to know, first of all, you have to reach out for help. And number two, that you have to know what you already have, who you already are, what you're already doing. Like, be honest with yourself, what needs some improvement this year. And think big, because God, in the Bible, it says God will do exceedingly more than you can ever ask or imagine. And so if you can say, well, I just hope to keep my lights on this year. Well, then if he can do just a little tiny bit more than that, why don't you think a little bit bigger? So I'm kind of relating this to our Mary Kay business. So, you may say, well, I just kind of want to, hang on a second. You might say, I just kind of want to this year just sell $1,000 more than I did last year. Well, I mean, that's admirable. Or I'd like to get one team member. Why don't you think a little bit bigger? And so that God can not only do what you ask for, but exceedingly more. And so one of the things he asked, he says, like, if someone said, I'm going to pay off all your debts, how much do you owe? Do you even know? Do you even know what you owe? Like if they were going to write you a check, but it had to be exactly what you owed, do you even know how much that is? I thought, okay, so you may want to look at that and say, if you've got some plans to pay off some things this year, how much do you owe? Okay, so anyway, so you want to be prepared for it. You want to ask for help, and then you want to kind of be honest with yourself where you are, and then you want to prepare for success. Okay, so her preparation was going to get the jars, right, and knowing what she actually had in her house. So for us, let's talk about us. So for this year, you want to look back at 2019 and say, okay, what was awesome about 2019? What did I do really pretty good, and I feel good about it? I am proud of myself because I did this, this, and this. This is how far I came from last year to this year. Or are you exactly the same person, just with a new outfit on? You got the same bills, you got the same everything. Nothing's really changed or improved. It's just the same. And so for me, I want to have a major difference between now and next December and next Christmas. I want to have developed enough directors in my national area to become a national sales director. That's what I want. I don't want to be sitting here in the same suit. And I want to improve myself as a leader. I want to do some things different. So I want to do a little better on different organization skills that I have. I want to do better on communication skills. And I want to look back and say what was great about 2019. And there's a lot of things that was great about it. I mean, I can look back and say, which we're still in it, but we had our best year ever. That ended, June 30th. We did 800,000. It's awesome. We had a couple new directors, and we want a new Cadillac. There's a lot of cool things that happened in 2019, and then there's some things that I look back and I think I should have done this a little bit different, a little bit better. And so I'm going to kind of evaluate my year. I'm going to look at compare my numbers last year to this year, and then I want to see what I expect for this new year. And I'm going to think big, and I know that God will come in and way exceedingly abundantly do more than I ever could ask or imagine. Okay, so let's talk about the race. So there's 3 tracks that I'm going to present to you guys. Number 1 is, I'll call it race number 1, and it's the walking race. That's okay. Like if you really were going to start exercising, sometimes if you haven't been doing one single thing but watching TV, and you think you're going to go out and run 2 miles, you are going to just probably be in the hospital after you try. Okay, so sometimes you have to start out slow. And so during the year, you may change tracks and say, you know what? I am going to enter a different race. I'm going to go up one. So we're going to have the walk. Race number 2 is going to be the jog. You're walking some, you're jogging some, but you're getting there faster. And number 3 are from our runners. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm ready to run. This is my year. No holds back. I'm ready. I've already had somebody say, Deborah Barrett's like, I'm ready to run. And so some of you already told me I'm ready to walk. And some people say I'm jogging. It's okay, because guess what? All of you are awesome. So I'm going to go over kind of what they are. And then you may decide, since you really didn't know what. And how it's going to look is this. Once you decide what you want, I'm going to send you a form. And I am going to send you a form to keep up with your weekly activity. And you guys, I mean, I hesitate to do this, but because I know people get tired of a contest and, then they forget about it. It's not new and fresh. I mean, I could just say, let's do it for January, but honestly, I'm doing it from January to June. That's what I'm going to do. And this is going to be the only thing I'm going to do. It's going to be the main thing we're going to be talking about for 6 months. And so new people will come in. I'm going to show them the 3 tracks to run on and say, which one do you want? Pick one. Okay. And that's what we're going to do. We're not going to do crazy stuff. We're going to keep it real simple. And we're just going to run one of our races. And every single race that we're going to give you is going to be, you're going to be able to succeed and win. Okay. Because you're all winners. You're all winners. Okay. So let's talk about the first one. The first one is the walk. Okay. Race number 1. So this is what it's going to look like. And your sheet will have every single week. So from now, we're actually going to start this. We're going to start Monday, actually, or Sunday, the 29th. We're going to start that, and then we're going to end it on June 30th. And so what would require of you if you choose the first race? Okay, have I built you up? Okay, so this is what the first race is going to look like, okay? So this is for 1 week is your goal, all right? Baby steps. You are going to book 2 people a week to have a facial, okay? Just 2 people. So you're going to put Mary Kay on 2 faces a week, all right? So, and you're going to book 2 every week. Book 2, hold 2. So you got to book 2 people every single week. This first week, I don't care. It could be, which is next week, it could be your grandma and your 14-year-old. I just want you to get your kit back out. I want you to put Mary Kay on 2 people. And so on the little spreadsheet, it'll have booking, and you just check when you get your booking. If you want to write the name, you can. But if you want to write the name, or you can just put a check, it doesn't matter to me. And then it's going to have 2 spots for your face. Okay, that's your 2 faces you did. Hey, you might do more, so you might get add in some, right? Next is going to be your interviews. And on your interviews, your goal is going to be just 1 a week. You're going to talk to 1 person a week about the Mary Kay opportunity. And if you're nervous about this, I could do a 3-way phone call with you, or do it in person with you and your person. Or if you're in somebody else's unit, your director can do that. Or you can send them one of my marketing calls, and then we'll follow up with them. I'll follow up with them, and you can follow up with them. But just 1 person a week. Honestly, if you're going to do 2 faces, just interview 1 of those people. Okay? And then you're going to at least attend 1 meeting a week, a sales meeting, your weekly sales meeting, because you have to plug in. If you don't, honestly, you probably won't keep up with this, because you just won't have any motivation to do it. You need some motivation. And I'm going to recognize the people that are on the walkers, the joggers, and the runners. And we're going to see who's met their goal for the week. Okay. So you're going to have to attend at least 1 meeting a week. All right. And you're going to have to get on 1 Boss Babe call. I do the Boss Babe calls every Sunday night. It's great training for you guys. So you have to listen to 1 Boss Babe call in the month, actually. I put it weekly, but monthly on that. So 1 meeting a month, okay, and 1 Boss Babe call a month. Obviously, you could do more. So we would love to have you do more if you want to, okay? And then you're going to check in with the sales director. So if my unit's going to be me, at least 1 time a week. You're going to check in with me, tell me what you're doing, what's going on, all right? So let's just go over that again. So this is for the week. You're going to book 2 faces. Don't even have to be parties, just faces. You're going to hold 2 faces, 2 makeovers a week. You're going to do 1 interview a week. You're going to attend 1 meeting a month. I said a week, but 1 meeting a month. Listen to 1 Boss Babe call a month. And you're going to check in with the sales director once a week. Okay? I'll have this all out so you don't have to remember it all. All right? Now, what I figured out that if you do that, okay, so you'll be holding 2 faces a week. You'll be facialing 8 people in a month. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know what? 6 months in a row, that's 48 new faces. So that's almost 50 new customers just facialing 2 people a week, okay? Talking to one person a week about the business, that's 4 people a month. Chances are you will get, think about if you do this and you do it 6 months in a row, that's 24 interviews, and usually you'll get around 6 recruits, 5 or 6 recruits. So by June, you probably be in your red jacket, at least, team leader, all right? By going to 1 meeting a month, list to the Boss Babe calls, at least you'll stay informed and you'll figure out what's going on with that. You'll keep current in what you're doing, all right? And then you're going to check in with me once a week just so I can give you a little bit of encouragement, all right? Now, these are the minimums. Obviously, you can do more, but that's the first one, is the jog, okay? Now, the walk. Now, race number two is the jog, all right? So that's people that they say, I can do a little bit more than that, Cleta. Okay, I think I can jog. Okay, so this is where you're going to book and hold at least 1 party a week. So, and a party is 4 to 6 people. All right, so 1 party a week, 4 to 6 people. So you do this for 6 months in a row, then that will be 24 parties. It'll be 4 parties a month. There'll be 24 parties in 6 months. So that's about 16 to 24 faces a month that you're going to be doing, which is pretty awesome. You're going to talk to 2 people a week about the business, 2 interviews a week. All right, that's 8 a month. At the end of 6 months, you'll be done at least 48 interviews. That's probably around 12 new team members. So chances are during this process, you could be team leader, DIQ, even maybe on target for your car. Okay, it's just according. Obviously, if you spread them out, some people you recruit the first month may go inactive according to what they do, right? You never know, but we'll see. On this track, you have to attend at least 2 sales meetings a month, okay? And you have to get on 2 Boss Babe calls a month. And you need to check in with the director, me, 3 times a week, okay? So 3 times a week, you're going to send me I prefer a Voxer message so that I can listen to it and respond back, and you can play it back more than once. So let's go over that again. So these are the joggers. You're going to at least hold 1 party a week. Just 1 party a week, all right? I know some of y'all scared. So y'all like, I don't know what you're going to say, so I'm just going to say walk. But you might can step it up, all right? 1 party a week. You're going to do 2 interviews a week, all right? You're going to check in with me 3 times a week. At your choice. I don't care what days it is. You're going to attend at least 2 sales meetings a month, and you're going to get on at least 2 Boss Babe calls a month. All right? Now, let's talk about the runners. These are the people that are like, hey, I'm ready. This is my year. I don't have time to mess around. I got to run. I got to run full out, okay? And you can do more than this, you guys, okay? But the running track, race number 3, is to book and hold 3 parties a week. 3 parties a week. Book and hold. So that's 4 to 6 people in attendance. So that's 12 parties a month you're gonna hold. Okay? And I realize weeks are different. Some weeks you may say, I gotta do 5 because next week I'm going on vacation, I can't do it. That's okay. 12 parties a month. But 3 a week is your goal. 12 parties a month times 6 months in a row is 72 parties. Okay? That's doing 48 to 72 faces a month. But don't look at it like that, because that sounds like a lot, right? Look at it as 3 parties a week, 3 appointments a week, okay? With this, you're going to talk to 6 people a week about the Mary Kay business opportunity. But you'll have the people to talk to, because 3 parties a week, you're going to pick 2 of them to talk to. This is Mary Kay's tried and true plan, all right? So you're going to do 6 interviews a week, talk to 6 people a week in person about the Mary Kay opportunity. You may want to talk to them, bring them to the sales meeting. They may have to be layered. Okay, then you are going to attend every week. The runners attend every week. You're going to come to the meeting, and every Sunday night you're going to get on the Boss Babe call. If you're asleep or in a different time zone, yes, you can listen to it the next day, but you have to let me know that you do it, because it's better when you're on there live. And then you're going to check in with the director 5 times a week, because you really need daily motivation. You don't do it weekends or whatever, but at least 5 times a week you're going to check in. So those are the different races. None of them are, I'm not telling you to do, you're going to do 10 parties a week for 6 months, you know, up from January to June. I know you're probably not going to do that. You can always do more. But Mary Kay, back in the day, back when I started, it was 3 parties a week. I mean, it's not that much. But you need to start with 1 party a week and be a jogger. You can if you need to start with 1 face and say, hey, you know what? I got to find my kit. So you can start with a face, and you can always change it. All you have to do is just contact me and say, hey, you know what? I'm ready to go to the next race because I got this. I'm gonna step up a little bit, and then we're gonna keep up with it. So I'm gonna send you some forms to start tracking it starting next week. So I'm telling you about it this week because this week I'd like you to go ahead and get some bookings, right? So whichever one you're going to do, if you're going to start out and you're going to walk, then you got to get you 2 bookings for next week so you can get 2 faces that you're going to do. And hey, it's Friday. The end of the month is on Tuesday. So, I know a lot of y'all got some goals for December, so don't hold back. We want to end strong in December. But I also need you to go ahead and book for January so that we will know what you got going on. Of course, you got Jumpstart you want to register for. A lot of you are thinking, you don't need to go Jumpstart. I don't need to spend the money. Honestly, there's one close enough to you that wouldn't cost you that much to go. You can drive there, do it, and come back home. And it is important because you want to be around big thinkers. I promise you that. I promise you that. So I'll need you to think about what I said. I will put like the requirements on Facebook so that you can kind of look at them again too. But I need you to let me know. And even though you may have already texted me and said, hey, I'm going to jog or I'm going to walk, now that you know all the rules, I'll need you to text me again and confirm what you want to do. And then I will email you the forms to fill out. And then you're just going to take, when you do the forms, you're just going to keep up with it. It's for yourself. And then you can take a picture of it and send it to me once a week. Probably once a week's going to be best so that I can keep up with it as well. All right. I may figure out and do it in a Google document so that I'll automatically get it. But right now I'm just going to send it to you so I can get it out to you. Okay. But I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. And I'm going to end the Zoom call, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit on Facebook.